Hello, good morning. Am I audible? Narinig niyo ako, guys? Okay, sige. Alright, so, ayan. So, for this session, so, just inform me if I'm not audible anymore, ha? So, guys, ano lang naman to, kasi as per instructed, di ba? So, tayo ay online. So, supposedly dapat bigyan ko kayo asynchronous lang. Eh, next week, so I will be in the conference next week. Kaya minute ko kayo ngayon kahit na online. So that we could discuss the topics that we need to discuss. Okay? So for this morning, so I hope you're already uh so I hope gising na kayo. So just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me and you're already awake. So si De La Cruz lang, mukhang si De La Cruz lang yata ang nakakarinig sa akin. So how about the others? Mukhang tulog pa yung iba. Nasaan na yung mga ibang kaklase nyo? Okay? Alright. Sige guys. So, ayan. So, I hope you have a great morning for today. So, although napakaaga nung klase natin, ano, ang aga. So I know naman what how do you feel about early class. Okay? So bilisan lang natin 'to. So will not take it too long and then may mga activities naman tayong gagawin sa LMS nyo. Okay? So let me discuss to you this topic. So this is about the abstract data types. Okay? So we're going to discuss the abstract data types. So ang ating agenda for today is we're going to discuss about software design principles such as yung ang focus natin is the abstract data type. Okay? So we're going to discuss what is ADT or abstract data type all about and what's the significance of ADT in data structure and what is a data structure and what are the examples of the abstract data type. So like yung the typical data types that you know. So like integer, set, and list. Okay? Right? So ayan, so let's start our discussion. So, ayan. So, as I have mentioned, it will cover the following software design principles. So, am I still audible, guys? Narinig niyo pa rin ba ako? Am I audible? So, give me a thumbs up if you can still hear me. Am I audible? Narinig ba? So I hope you can still hear me. All right, so let's discuss what is modularity. So when we say, if I'm going to ask you what is your understanding about modularity? Modular. So let me call on Aaron. Nandyan ba si Aaron? Aaron.
Hello po
Asan
ma'am,
si
rinig po
Aaron?
ba ako?
Yeah, you're audible, Aaron. Okay, Aaron. So if in your own understanding or layman's terms, sige, it's how do you understand modular? Sabihin na lang natin modular.
Okay
And
po. So, ang pagkakaintindi ko po sa modular is kapag may gagawin na isang task, halimbawa, may kailangan i-sort na list with, let's
mm-mm,
say, 100 items po.
mm-mm,
I-apply yung concept ng modular para mas madali po siyang i-modify. Like for example,
okay.
magsiset na po ng category tapos
Mm,
gagawa ng program para automatic na malilista na siya kagad, hindi yung isa-isahin pa pong titignan bago siya magawa. Yun lang po.
okay. Sige. Okay. So guys, di ba, you're aware of the word modular. When you say modular, it's by module. So like you mentioned, so per module. Yes, Legaspi, you're raising your hand. Asan si Legaspi?
Ano po ma'am, in real life situation po, para
Okay,
pong
sige.
computer po, we can swap out pieces po para i-upgrade or palitan lang po yung
Kasi
mga
module.
parts.
Okay,
Opo.
so if we're going to apply it in the computer troubleshooting, so for example, like she mentioned about kapag merong sira yung computer nyo, so not necessarily na yung buong computer yung papalitan. So you just replace yung part na may sira, or kaya nga by modular, by module or swapping things nga. Tama naman siya doon. If we're going to apply this in programming, so modularity means breaking down a large program. So for example, you have a large program. So what we're going to do is to break down that large program into a smaller one, which is manageable. So like yung na-mention ni Aaron na instead na you're going to resolve yung as a whole, of course you need to break down ano ba yung problem. And then you have to resolve muna yung mga little pieces of the problem so that you can resolve yung whole problem. So that's the modularity. So modularity means breaking down a large program into smaller and manageable parts. So if we're going to think of think of like a building house. So if you're going to build a house, you don't design the whole house in one piece. So what we do is what the engineers or contractors do is to divide it into rooms, floors, and sections. So that's the same thing, same application in programming. So that's modularity. So in programming, modularity keeps complexity manageable. So when you say complexity, di ba, sometimes merong mga there is a very complex problem that you really need to resolve. So what you need to do is to break down those problems into smaller pieces only. And then you're going to resolve that small pieces of problem so that you can resolve the whole problem. So yun yung ginagawa natin sa programming. So it keeps complexity manageable. It isolates errors. If one module fails, so it doesn't crash the whole system. So kaya natin ginagawa yon para kung meron man na example, we encounter problems or may mga errors, so hindi man crash yung ating whole system. So we need to resolve yung ating problem in the program by modules. Okay? And then eliminates redundancy. So kapag if that is we use modularity or modules in the program, so we could eliminate redundancies or duplications. So modules can be reused in different projects. And also, it encourage collaboration. So uso na ngayon yung sabay-sabay kayong maggagawa ng program. So in a one platform. So parang ganon. So you're going to create per module. And you have a team that doing that. So parang instead of it's only one who's creating the whole system, so ang ginagawa is hinahati-hati. So that's why we have modules by modules in a program. So that's what modularity is. So ang other example natin dyan, so for example, in the university management system, so we could have separate modules. So if you notice naman, di ba, meron tayong different modules for enrollment, kids, and then schedules. So each can be developed independently. So hindi mo gagawin agad yung buong whole system. So it is divided into modules. Okay? So that's the power of modularity, which is being used as a technique in order to create the whole system. Okay? All right. So the next is the information hiding. So for information hiding, so this principle hides the internal details of a module, and it only exposes what is necessary. So yung mga example, yung mga yung nakikita lang nung ating mga example, if you are the user, what you can see only in the program is not the source code, 'di ba? Saan kayo nakakita ng isang system na nakikita ng mga user yung program or yung source code. So there are things that we need to hide or information hiding. And we can only expose what is necessary, what is needed by the user. So you can think of a ATM card. So I'm sure lahat naman kayo merong ATM card, di ba? So think about your ATM card. So you don't need to know how the bank verifies your balance internally. So you only interact with the interface, the card slot, the keypad, and the screen. So, hindi natin nakikita kung ano man yung source code na ginagamit nila, di ba? So, once that we access the bank, okay? So, in programming, this means hiding implementation details and only exposing functions or methods. So, for instance, if you have a list class, you don't need to know whether it uses an array. So, kailangan ba nating malaman na dun sa program na yon ang ginamit niya ay array or linked list internally. So, you just call. So, ang ginagawa natin, di ba, sometimes, ang ginagawa lang, pwedeng i-call lang yung add or remove. So, hindi natin ini-expose what is internally happening inside. So, kasi, if we're going to do that na lahat is nakikita ng user, so we are very vulnerable sa mga attacks, sa hacking, di ba? So that's why we need to hide some information. And then the next one is isolation of modules. So we could imagine a company with different departments. So example, merong HR or human resource, merong finance, may IT. So each has its own responsibilities. So they interact when necessary, but one department's internal operation should not affect one another. So that's why we have yung isolation ng mga modules. So even sa mga programs or the code that we are doing. So, mayroon tayong ginagamit na isolation ng mga modules. So, similarly in software, so each module is somewhat isolated. So, modules interact using contracts or method specifications, but they don't directly tamper with each other inner workings. So, this makes the large system easier to maintain. So, kung napakalaki talaga nung gagawin yung system, so mas madali na i-maintain siya and to upgrade. So for example that we could do is yung updating the payment system in an e-commerce website should not break the product catalog or the shopping cart. So ganun yung example natin doon. So even you are updating yung payment system, so dapat di rin maapektuhan yung module natin for the product catalog or the shopping cart. Kasi dapat isolated sila sa isa't isa. Okay? So that is the isolation of modules. And then we have yung abstraction. So, what this abstraction means? So, abstraction, so this is the art of focusing on essentials while hiding the unnecessary details. So, the word comes from the Latin abstrahere. So, yung word na abstraction, it came from a Latin word abstrahere, meaning to pull out. So, example natin dito is a driving car. So, to drive, you only need to know how to use the steering wheel, kung paano gamitin yung pedals and gear shift. So, you don't need to understand the internal combustion engine or the transmission. So, kasi kayo yung end user eh. So, that's the power of abstraction. So, it lets you use complex system easily. So, sa computing naman, dun sa field natin, so for example, we have the interface. So, interface is what the user interacts with. That's why we call it interface, sorry. And then implementation, so the hidden details of how it works. So, for example, in a calculator application, so when you press the plus button, so plus button is the interface. So, how the app process the numbers in code is the implementation. So that's what abstraction means. So when you say to pull out, diba? So sa computing, so we call it yung interface. So this is where we interact, and then the process of what is happening inside, so yun yung implementation, which is yung hidden details of how this how does it works. Okay. All right. And then next is the data and operations. So to put these principles into practice, so we separate data and operations. So in a database, so ayan, so gagamitin nyo rin tong data structure. So when you already have your database system or database management system. So example in database, so the operations, so sa database kasi, the common operation might be you're going to add a new record, you're going to delete a record, you're going to search for a record, and you're going to count how many entries meet the condition. So notice that these operations don't depend. Okay. Ayan, nasa na yan? Data and operation, sorry. So, ayan. So, what do we need in order to achieve the above software engineering design principles? So, that's for the data and operation. So, as I have mentioned kanina, for example, meron tayong database. So, ang common operations that we have in database is pwedeng mag-add ka ng record. You're going to add a new record in our database. You're going to delete a record. So deleting and removing a data from the database or deleting the record from the database. And even when you say finding the data, you're going to search for a record on the database. So, ayan. So we notice that these operations don't depend on whether the database use arrays. So hindi naman natin masasabi ba natin na this database uses arrays or kaya linked lists or kaya hash table. So this is an abstraction in action. So we focus on what can be done, not how. So ang analogy nito, so you can think about a vending machine. So your operations are operations ng vending machine. Ang ano bang operations ng vending machine? So ano mga ginagawa natin sa vending machine? Sige nga, try natin. So that we could apply yung ating data and operation. So anong mga operation na meron sa vending machine? Nasaan si Lunas? Alexander Lunas.
Good morning po, ma'am.
Okay, so ano yung mga operations na meron sa vending machine? Di ba nakita
Um,
vending machine?
um,
Ano ang ginagawa natin sa vending machine?
kung sa personal experience ko po, ma'am, wala po akong sa vending machine. Pero yung
Ay,
alam ko po,
bakit ang vending machine? Okay, sige.
um,
Mga usual.
pinaka-usual po, mag-insert ka po ng coin or
Points. Good,
cash.
okay.
And then,
Or paano ka
yung,
LRT? Di ba sa LRT? Vending
ay,
machine LRT2? Okay, tama
opo,
na
ma'am.
yung insert ng coins. So ano pa yung other things na the operation that's happening sa vending machine?
Yung mag-interact ka po dun sa parang, kung sa LRT po, ma'am, yung
Ah,
parang GGOI po dun, yung
okay.
magsasali ka po ng destination.
Okay.
Tapos kung ano po, kung solo or, ay, ano po yun? Limutan ko.
Single journey.
Ayun
Or
po, yung ganun.
ka ba ng ano, 'di ba? Ganun yung nangyayari. So you are interacting with the interface. And then
Yes po.
after you interact with the interface, what would be the other operations na meron sa vendo machine? Ano yung,
Um,
ano yung binibigay ni
ayun po, yung
LRT na vendo machine?
sa mga usual vending machine po, ma'am, yung may output po siya, ma'am, yung
Okay.
sa kunwari po, yung mga drinks po, yan po,
Okay.
yung mahuhulog po siya, tapos
Okay.
kukunin po.
So you're going to receive the product, 'di ba? So sa LRT, ang product na nare-receive nyo is yung card. So kung typical vending machine naman, ang nare-receive natin ay yung product kung ano yung binibili natin. So that's the same application. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Alexander. All right. So that's the same application, guys. So yung example, you have the vending machine. So the operation that takes place in a vending machine are inserting coins. So yung pressing yung button or kaya naman yung mga kung ano yung kung sa LRT, ano ba single journey ba yan? Or you're going to uh, add value, 'di ba, doon sa inyong card and of course receiving the product. So with that we don't care about how the machine internally stores items or dispenses them. So that's what we experience when we interact with the vending machine. So that's ang point lang naman dito, yung operation. So we know what are the operation is, but we don't know what's happening inside. Okay? So, yon. Okay? So, the next is, lang ha. Ayan. So, example we have here. So, you as you think what you can do to a collection of data independently of how you do it. So, allows you to develop each data structure in a relative isolation from the rest of the solution. So, a natural extension of procedural abstraction. So, ito, example natin, di ba, so if we're going to have a program, so for example, what does the car do? So, ang operation ng car is start, stop, turn left, turn right. Ayan. So, sa car start, so meron kayong pag gusto nyong you wanted to start the car or the engine. So you select first the gear, release parking brake, bring clutch up to the friction point, press gas pedal, release the clutch. So ito yung mga operations na ginagawa natin when we are driving or if you experience driving a car. So yan. So yan, let's move on to abstract data types or ADT. So if you're going to hear that acronym ADT, so it stands for abstract data type. So now we arrive at the heart of this module, which is the abstract data types. For a while lang ha, ano to? Ayan. Okay? For a while lang guys, may nag-ano lang, message. Okay. Alright, so, ayan. So, let's move on to the abstract data types. So, yung ADT or abstract data types, so this defined by, this is the collection of data. That's why we are talking about kanina pa about the data and also a set of operation on that data. So that's the abstract data types. So the key idea is not the key idea is an ADT that specify what operations are possible but not how they are implemented. So that's why, di ba, simula pa kanina, what we are looking for is how this data operates. So yan. So for instance, sample, let's have, ayan. So for instance, a set ADT defines operations like ano-ano ba yung mga ginagawang operations. So for example, ay kung meron tayong stack or yung queues, so pwedeng mag-add, mag-remove ng data. Pwede rin yung union of the two elements. And then even the intersection of two elements also. So I'm sure you study in your discrete mathematics yung gamit ng union and then the use of intersection in set. So I know alam niyo naman gamitin yon. So that's those are the operations that we have in data structure. So adding, removing, union, intersection. Okay. So if we have that operations in a set, so it doesn't say whether the set is implemented with an array. So hindi naman natin alam kung ano ba yung ginamit with that set. Kung nag-add ka, nag-remove ka, kung merong union of the set, merong intersection of the set. So we never know if what is implemented on that set. So it could be an array, it could be a linked list, it could be a hash tables. So yun yung sa abstract data type. So it's only the interface or yung sa user side yung nakikita sa abstract data types. So it's only the operations. Okay, and then next is we have the properties and the behavior of the abstract data type. So the properties of an ADT describe the type of data, so the type of data that it contains. So pwedeng ano ba yung mga types of data that we could have sa behavior ng abstract data type. So meron tayong mga different data types like the integers, floats, characters, or complex objects like images and videos. So the behaviors describe the operation. So like arithmetic, ano pa ba, comparisons or set operations. So for example, kung ang gagamitin natin ay integer ADT or integer abstract data types, so we have yung properties ng ang integer. Ano ba ang properties ng integer? So tawag tayo. Ano ang properties ng integers? Nasaan si Caranto, Marjoy?
Hello po, ma'am.
Okay.
Dinig po.
Naririnig ka. Ano yung properties ng integer na data types?
Yun po ba, ma'am, yung sa parang whole number po na
Yeah,
ganito?
exactly.
Ayun po.
So yon. So it's a whole number. And then ang behavior niya, since that we are talking about the behavior, So, ang behavior, ano ang ginagawa ng integer? Anong operations that we could, or behavior na pwede nating gawin or operation sa integer? Ano yung pwedeng gawin?
Bali po, ang pwede pong gawin is, ano po, yung addition po ba, ma'am? Like,
Okay, yeah,
addition,
exactly.
subtraction, tapos division, and multiplication po.
Okay. Alright. Sige, thank you. Okay, so yung whole number, behavior niya is addition, subtraction, multiplication. And then, yung set naman, so ano ang properties ng set? Thank you, Marjoy. Tawagin natin si Amoroto. Nasaan si Amoroto? Amoroto? Nandyan ba si
Morning po, ma'am.
Amoroto? Okay, good morning. So ano yung properties ng set? So I'm sure na-tackle nyo ang set sa discrete mathematics. Ano ang kanyang properties?
Yun po yung mga commutative laws, associative, tas yung mga distributive and yung identity po.
Pero ano yung yun talaga ano. So it's about, ano yung hinahanap natin? That's why we use set. Ano yung meron sa set? So yung mga sinabi mo, it's about the behavior. So ano yung kanyang properties? So ano ang gamit natin ng set? 'Di ba? It's about finding for the unique elements, 'di ba? Yun yung the properties of set is the unique elements. And then ang behaviors is what you can do in set. If you could have union, intersection, complement. Okay? So sa abstract data types, it provides the blueprint like class design in the object-oriented programming. So yun yung gamit ng abstract data types in data structure. So it's like a blueprint. Okay? All right, so let's move on to the next slide. So let's clarify the difference between a data structure and an abstract data type. So ang data structure is a physical way of organizing data in the memory, like when we are using arrays, stacks, or queues. And the abstract data type naman is the logical description of data and operations. So if we're talking about yung operations, so ang tawag natin doon is abstract data type. And then if we wanted to know the data structure, so this is the physical way of organizing. So how we organize the data in the memory. So yun yung difference ng dalawa. So the examples are meron tayong mga tinatawag na stack abstract data type. So sa stack, ang mga operations na ginagamit sa stack ay push, pop, and pick. Ayan. And then the implementation could be an array-based stack or a linked list-based stack. So sa abstract data type remains the same, only the data structure changes. And then we have the disadvantages and the advantages and disadvantages. So yung sa disadvantages, so more initial design effort, extra overhead for method calls, and then longer time to develop. Ang advantage naman, for maintenance, it is easier because the clients don't care about the implementation sa abstract data type. And then the implementation can be changed without affecting yung users. And then programmers focus on solving problems, not low-level details. So we can think of it like a building. For example, we are building with Lego blocks. So it takes effort to design the blocks, but once designed, they can be reused endlessly in different structures. So that's the same thing with the abstract data type. So how are we going to design or designing an abstract data types? So when designing an abstract data types, we must ask what data does the problem need? And then number 2, what operations are required? Examples natin dito is a list. ADT requires operations like insert, delete, traverse sa list. So meron tayong different operations that we can use. So yung list sa queue and then also sa tree. So sa queue, it requires NQ and DQ. And then ang operation naman ng tree requires add child, remove node, or traverse. So once we define this, we can decide later whether to use array, linked list, or something else. So ayan. So I know you're familiar with integers. Ayan. So ang integers, we have, so for integers, the data containing the positive and negative whole numbers and zero. So ang operations niya which manipulate the data. So ang operations is addition, subtraction, multiplication, equality, and comparison. And order comparison. So methods for data conversion, output, etc. And then we have floating point. So this is being used in division. So it contains the whole possible positive and negative values. Precision is limited by number of digits, and operations are addition, subtraction, pwedeng multiplication, equality comparison, and order comparison. And it also used for complex mathematical functions such as exponential, logarithmic, or logarithm, triangular function, etc. And then for rounding of numbers, so we use the floating point. And then methods for data conversion, output, etc. So sa set, yung katulad ng diniscuss natin kanina, so and this is for data, this is an unordered collection of unique elements. So ang property ng sets is unique elements, and then the operations are we could add an element to a set, we could remove, and even pwedeng i-unite or union, pwede rin intersection. So finding the intersection of the set. Ayan, so yung others get the union, intersection, complement of two set objects. And then for linear structures, so examples ng linear structures are the stack, queue, linked list. So ang stack operations, pag sinabing stack, so push, pop, and pick. And then for queue operation is NQ and DQ. So for non-linear naman, ayan. So ito ang example ng linear structures na stack. So kapag stack, sa stack is last in, first out. Tama ba? Yung mga nag-file up ka ng mga example, nag-stack ka ng different, sabihin natin, yung plates. So para ma-remove mo yung nasa pangatlong stack, so you need to remove first yung last. So that's why it's last in, first out. So sa queue naman, so ang example ng queue is yung line or pila. So ang una, the first to be served is the first who came in. So first in, first out. Okay? So ito yung ating sample. So kung stack yan, if you're going to add a new element, so kahit stack yan or queue yan or linked list, so you're going to add yung new element sa top. So kapag stack, ayan, stack, you remove the top of the element. Kapag naman queue, yung nasa pinakailalim, yun yung unang bibigyan ng service. So, yan. So, that's for the linear structures. So, ang stack, ang queue, ang linked list, so we call it linear structures. And then for the nonlinear, so every data item is attached to several other data items in a way that's specific for reflecting relationship. So katulad ng trees, ng graph, ng heap, etc. So we also add a new element sa tree, and we also remove an element sa tree. Okay, so for nonlinear, ayan, so I've mentioned about yung tree graph. So three operations, you add a child or child node, you traverse. Sa graph operation, you add the vertex, you add the edge, and find the path. So these are the examples show how ADTs model both simple and complex systems. Ayan, so to summarize, so just to give a summary of these modules. So the ADT allow us to think about what operations can be performed without worrying about how they are performed. So ADTs provide a wall of abstraction between implementation and usage. So this makes our program more modular, maintainable, and reusable. So when you're programming, you always ask, what's the right abstract data types for this problem? And that will guide your choice of the data structure later. So ayan. So meron tayong you notice we have the abstract data type. So inside the abstract data type, we have the abstract data structure and the operation, and that is our interface. Ayan, so that's the end of this slides. So guys, meron kayong gagawin sa inyong LMS. Actually, meron na to sa LMS natin. I already uploaded itong this topic that we discussed. So nandun siya sa ating LMS. So yan. And then meron din akong nilagay doon na it's a review on the object-oriented programming. So, ayan. So, meron tayong, ang sasagutan nyo dito, na-access nyo naman yung LMS, no? Sino rito ang may problem sa LMS? Na hindi nakaka-access? So, lahat ba is nakaka-access ng LMS? Guys, na-access nyo ba ang inyong LMS?
Yes po.
Okay, very good. So dito, so for this topic na diniscuss natin, so meron kayong sasagutan. So you go to your ayan, sa ano natin. So this one, so yung sasagutan nyo is the ADT task assessment. So, and then you're going to submit it also dito sa LMS natin. So, ang nilagay ko rito, you can submit until tomorrow, Sunday. So, madali lang naman siya. It's more on parang clarification if you understand what an abstract data types is. So, that you're going to do for today. So, gagawin nyo yan ngayon. So, ang submission is hanggang Sunday, which is September 21. So, hanggang 11:59 p.m. And then, nandito na rin naka-include. Teka, I will show you. So, flash ko lang sa ating screen. Ayan. So, ayan. So, eto, yung task assessment, nakita nyo, di ba? So, yung task assessment is this one. So, ang due niya is until tomorrow. So, it's more on descriptive lang. Although, merong mga part na may mga kailangan kayong sagutan. So, you're going to answer doon sa merong mga blank dyan na lines. So, doon kayo magsasagot. Okay? And then you're going to submit it dito na rin sa LMS natin. And then nandito na rin yung ating PowerPoint presentation na ginamit ko. And then this one, naglagay na ako ng para sa class. So meron ako ritong, so it's a review of class. So ano na lang, so kayo na lang mag-review ng sarili nyo. Since that you tackled already the classes, di ba? Nagkaroon naman kayo ng class sa object-oriented programming nyo. So ito yung sasagutan nyo. So this one, ang deadline niya is hanggang next week, Sunday. So actually, ito yung gagawin nyo sa Sunday. So magre-review kayo, Sunday tuloy, sa next week. So you're going to have your review on classes. So ang submission niya is until Sunday ng September 28. So guys, next week, so as I have mentioned, kasi attend ako ng conference. So meron kaming paper na ipe-present, and then at the same time is I was invited as a session chair on that conference. So that's why we don't have meetings next week. So yung ating meeting so bibigyan ko na lang kayo ng mga activities. So yun. Siguro ayan. So habang ito ay itatackle nyo, no, ito yung aaralin nyo, the classes. So it's a review lang naman. So siguro pwede naman ako mag-discuss. I will discuss siguro muna. May time pa ba? Ayan, meron pa naman. So mag-discuss ako ngayon about sa stocks. And then, para at least yung time na wala ako, so you will do the activities. Okay? So maglagay pa ako ng isa pang activity para at least siguro isang activity for stock. Okay? So for a while let me share. So siguro let's discuss na mabilis lang naman, discuss lang natin yung stock. Okay, for a while. Okay, so let me share. So isang topic pa para at least habang wala ako, meron kayong ginagawa. So for a while, So, eto, discuss lang natin yung some parts of yung part 1 ng stocks. Okay, so this one, introduction. So, ito yung one type of abstract data type. So, we call it stock. And then we're going to discuss the implementation of stocks. Okay, so as I have mentioned earlier, so ang stock is a type of linear structures. So linear structures that are data collections whose items are ordered depending on how they are added or removed from the structure. So once an item is added, so it stays in that position relative to the other elements that came before and came after it. And linear structures can be thought of as having the two ends. Meron tayong top and bottom. Or meron front and may end or front and back. So, way in which items are added and removed. So, like for example, for Q, so for Q, kasi ang ginagawa ay we add it at the back or at the end. Although parehas sila ng we added from the at the back or at the end, but how we remove the elements is different. So kapag stack, so ang una nating tinatanggal para makuha natin yung nasa ilalim is yung nasa top. Okay, pag sa Q is first come first serve. So sa stack, last in first out. Okay. So, what is a stack? So, stack is an ordered collection of items where the addition of new items and the removal of existing items always takes place at the same end. So, which referred to as the top of the stack. So, as I have mentioned a while ago, examples is the dishes in cafeteria. And the stack of books that you have, pwede rin. So, ang stack example, so you add only to the top of the stack, you remove only from the top of the stack also. So that's why last in, first out. So if we wanted to add a new element, example, you have 3457, and then you wanted to add sabihin natin, meron kang 345712, you wanted to add 1. So, adding a new element takes place doon sa end. So, if you wanted to remove, the remaining will be 3457 at the top of the element. So, we call it last in, first out. Okay, so for orders, the base of the stack contains the oldest item. So kaya nga 'di ba stack, ibig sabihin kahit naman sa mga grocery, 'di ba? Sa stock, ang unang pinapaubos natin is yung pinakamalapit na yung date na ma-expire, 'di ba? The one that which has been there at the longest. Okay, example, matagal na siyang example ang expiration is malapit na. So, yun yung unang kinokonsume. Diba? So, yun yung application ng stock. So, kung alin yung item na nauna, so, yun yung unang i-consume. Diba? For stock, the order in which items are removed is exactly the reverse of the order that they were replaced. So, ito yung reversal property of stocks. So, this is a representation of a program. So, ang original order, for example, nung program is you have yung first 4 dog through and then 8.4. So, sa reverse order, mauuna yung last, which is the fourth, then followed by dog, and then through, and then first. Ayan magiging first natin in reverse order. So ilagay ko na lang to doon sa ating elements. So what are the operations? So ang operations that we have in stack is we create, so una, we create an empty stack and then determine whether a stack is empty. So that's why in your program, the first thing that you need to do is to create an empty stack. And then you determine muna whether the stack is empty or not. And then add a new item to the stack. So when you add, so you use the command push. If you remove the stack, use the operation pop. And then if you wanted to retrieve from the stack, retrieve the stack, the item that was added most recently, so you use pick. So ito yung operation ng stack operations. So ayan, push 103. So example, meron kang elements na 34, 57, 12. And then you wanted to add a new element which is 103. So ang operations na gagamitin is push. Push 103, and then if you wanted to remove the top element, so you use the pop or remove the top element. And then if you wanted to retrieve the recently added element, so ang gagamitin mo is pick. Okay, example, sa pop you wanted to remove yung 57. So for you to remove the 57, so kailangan you have to pop muna yung 103, yung 12 for you to remove yung 57. And then if you use pick, kung ano yung recently added, so yung nasa ibabaw, yun yung i-remove or retrieve the top element. So these are the stack abstract data type. So ito yung mga operations na ginagawa. So the stack open and close parenthesis means you're going to create a new stack that is empty. So walang kailangang parameters and returns in an empty stack. So that's why it has no parameter, open and close parenthesis lang siya. And then, kapag mag-create ka ng new stack, then push item. So, sa push, meron na tayong parameters, which is the item. So, you add a new item to the top of the stack. So, it needs the item and returns nothing. So, the stack is modified. And then, for the pop open and close parentheses, remove the top item from the stack. So, it needs no parameters and returns the item. The stack is modified. So, sa pop kasi, it's understood na kung ano yung pinaka-recent na nandun sa top, ibig sabihin, yun yung i-retrieve nyo. Okay? And then, sorry, baliktad. So, yung pop is yung remove yung nasa top of the element. And then, the pick returns the top item from the stack but does not remove. Okay? So it needs no parameters. The stack is not modified. And then yung is underscore empty. So you are going to test to see whether the stack is empty or not. So it needs no parameters and returns a Boolean value. The stack is not modified. And then the size open and close parentheses returns the number of items on the stack, so it needs no parameters and returns an integer. The stack is not modified. So yung pick, yung testing if the stack is empty, yung is underscore empty, and the size. So they are useful to allow the user to retrieve the properties of the stack, but they are not necessary. So ito, so we have an example code application dito. So this is the program that we have. Yung S is equal to stack, open and close. So ito yung what does it do? So kapag S is equal to stack, open and close, so we have yung process is we have your stack. So, ang output, so walang output to kasi this is only S is equal to stack, open, and close. So wala namang makikitang output yung user. And then, if you're going to print yung, ang tanong kasi dito, kung empty daw ba yung stack. So sabi, S is equal to stack. So is the stack empty? So ito yung operations natin. So since wala pang laman yung stack natin, so ang kanyang magiging output is true. So it's true that the stack is empty. And then kapag sinabi nating S.push4, so ang operation is yung S natin, we have the element 4. Diba? So wala pa rin siyang, wala pang output kasi ang sinabi lang naman is push 4. So S is 4 and then push dog. So dapat meron na siya dito, ibig sabihin magdadagdag ka ng dog sa element 4. And then sabi, print or you're going to display ano yung nasa top. So since ang inad natin ay dog, so ang nasa pinakataas is dog. So kapag nag-print ka, display mo yung SPIC, ibig sabihin i-retrieve mo yung nasa pinaka recently added, which is dog. Tama naman. And then push true. So ibig sabihin maglalagay ka ng true sa ibabaw ng dog, 'di ba? So ang tanong dito, print size. Ano ang size? So ilan print S size? So kung meron ka dito tatlo, so 1, meron kang dog, meron kang ano yung mga dinagdag natin? So 4 and then true and then dog. So ibig sabihin ang size is 3. And then print S that is empty. Kung empty daw, of course it's not kasi may content na, may element na yung iyong stack. And then you push 8.4. So ibig sabihin magdadagdag daw ng 8.4. So that's why on the top of the dog you have 8.4 and then if you remove, so mare-remove yung 8.4. So SPAP, so sabi niya dito ay, so kung push mo 8.4 and then you remove yung dalawang remove, so matatanggal yung 8.4 and then the dog. Ang matitira na lang ay yung true. So, sorry, ayan. So ito yung mas malinaw na version. Ayan, print size. So ilan na lang yung size niya dito. So ito yung pinakahuli. So dalawa na lang. So ganun lang siya ginagamit. Yung stack. So ito, gagawin nyo to. So i-identify nyo ano yung operations and then ano yung output. Okay, so gagawin nyo na lang to in your own time. So lagay ko na lang dun sa LMS. And then exercise 2 also. Ayan, so yung stack in Python, so that's why you need to review your object-oriented programming because we're going to use it in Python. So yung addition of new item and removal of existing item always takes place at the same end. So as we discuss on the stack in Python. Okay, so if we have a class stack, so we define. So define init and then, ayan. So define if it's empty. So ito yung ginagawa natin. So, di ba, ang operation is you need to test if the stack is empty. And then you need also to know what is the size. And then return the length. For example, define the size, which is the size of the self. And then we have the return, which is the length of the self.items. So, yan yung ginagawa natin sa Python using stack operations. Ayan. So, the class stack, so define push. So, kapag mag-add ka, so push. Kapag mag-remove is pop and then retrieve is pick. So that's the same process when we apply it in Python programming. So yan, that's the same thing. And then, ganun pa rin. So push yung self and then define pop and then the result is, if you want to see the result, so you have to print. Ayan. So yung to determine yung algorithm, if the complexity of the algorithm, we use the big O notation. Ayan. So this is the big O notation. Ayan. So this one, this is an empty stack. So, di ba sabi, create an empty stack. So, S is equal to stack, open and close. So, we have already an empty stack. And then you wanted to test if the stack is empty. So, you have to display. That's why you have your print S dot is empty. And then, kung empty siya, so it means it's true. So, ang gagawin mo kung empty is you're going to add. So, that's why we have your S dot push for. So, ibig sabihin, you're going to add the element 4 and then at the top of the element 4 is you're going to add again dog and then you're going to add cat. Ayan. So, if we're going to apply the big O notations for push and pop, so ang ginagamit lang natin dito yung ON. So, ON operations lang siya. Okay. And then, ayan, last in, first out data structure. So, for the summary of the stack, so push and pop. Then, access is at one point, the top of the stack. And then, Python supports simple implementation of tasks. So, yun yung sa introduction natin for the stack. So, for this week, so tatapusin nyo na muna yung mga activities that we have. And then, once that I come back, so pagbalik ko, we're going to continue our discussion on the stack. So, yung parang mas advanced na discussion on using the stack in Python. Okay? So, may questions ba kayo? Do you have any clarification? May mga tanong ba? Any questions, guys? Hello? Hello, everyone.
Wala na po.
Wala naman. So, ilalagay ko naman tong yung diniscuss ko ngayon, yung stacks. And then, meron din akong additional na activity ipapagawa sa inyo. So, para habang hindi tayo mag-meet ngayong week, so, asynchronous activity muna kayo. So, you will do all the, yung pending na mga activities natin. So, yung, i-review nyo yung inyong object-oriented programming of using class and object kasi that's very important. So, if you notice, di ba, nakita nyo naman na gagamitin natin siya for the, for using the, yung ADT or even yung linear, and also the non-linear data types. So, gagamitin natin. So, that's why you need to review. So, mag-self-review na lang kayo. Pero nilagay ko naman yung kung ano yung mga topic na you need to review on the class and object. And then, yung inyong activity for today and also yung for the next week, nilagay ko na. So, ang idadagdag ko na lang yung sa stacks. So, parang for the whole week, 3 yung activity yung isasubmit nyo. So, hanggang Sunday naman yung deadline natin for the stacks. So, ngayong week lang naman ako wala. So, that, kasi baka Monday is family day, no? So, ang alam ko sa Monday is dineclare na ni President ng Pilipinas, BBM, na family day ng lahat ng government employees. So that's why makakat yung class nyo. Kung meron kayong mga 1 p.m. onwards na class, so wala na. Wala nang class kasi ano daw, family day ng mga government employees. So sa Monday ba, anong oras ang klase nyo? May class kayo ng 1 p.m. onwards? Hello? Yun. So, yun. Wala naman. Oo. Hintayin nyo na lang yung pero in-announce na eh. 1 p.m. onwards is yung family day. Okay? So, sa morning lang kayo papasok sa Monday. So, from 8 to 12. Kung may klase kayo ng 8 to 12, so yun yung papasukan nyo. And then 1 p.m. onward is no classes na kasi nga family day ng mga government employees. Okay? And ang PUP is a government institution, so that's why we need to comply, diba? Okay, so yon. And then ang class natin ay Wednesday kayo, no, yung 2-7, no. Ang class natin is Wednesday. So hindi ko kayo mami-meet sa tama ba? Wednesday ba kayo? Yun nga. So, tama. So sa Wednesday, hindi ko kayo mami-meet kasi nga attend ako ng conference. So I'm going to give you na lang yun nga yung mga iniwan kong mga activities na gagawin nyo. So ilalagay ko dun sa natin. So dadagdagan ko yon nung about sa stock. So para ma-practice kayo on how to analyze yung operation ng stock. Okay? So bigyan ko kayo ng activity on that. So yun lang naman yung added na activity nyo. So on the next week, so magre-resume na naman tayo. So we're going to continue yung discussion natin about the stock. Okay? So guys, Wednesday, so hindi ko kayo mamimit ha. So that's why I'll be giving you an asynchronous activity. So gagawin nyo na lang siya sa bahay. And then make sure that you will be submitting yung mga activities kasi that's a requirement, diba? Requirement natin yan dito sa course na to. So yon. And then ang ginagamit nyo namang IDE is Tony, no? So, actually guys, kahit anong IDE pwede naman. Basta you can... Ang importante is we have the same result. Yung since that's Python, so any IDE will do. So kung Tony yung ginagamit nyo or yung Google Colab, Jufighter, so it's up to you. So kung ano yung gagamitin nyo. So yung sa naman, sa programming language is just only to check para malaman lang natin, ma-double check natin kung tama ba yung ating understanding on the operations. Okay? So, you study yung different operation ng stacks. So, katulad nung kung paano yung operations niya inside. So, katulad nung the first thing is yung mag-create ka ng stack, i-test kung empty ba ang stack, and then to display the content of the stack, to add a new stack, to remove. So yun. So yun yung mga operations na kailangan yung malaman. And then also to determine ano yung size or the length. So same lang din naman siya with the other programming languages na ginagamit natin. Okay? Same application lang din naman. Alright? So may mga questions ba or clarification? May mga tanong guys? Any questions or clarifications or any concern? May mga concern naman. Okay, so before tayong mag-left, okay, so let's have a photo opportunity. So mag-picture muna tayo. So for those who can turn on their camera, so guys, please turn on your camera. So that we could have a photo opportunity. Okay? So, ayan. Okay, turn on na lang. Naku, hindi pa pala tayo nakakapag-quiz, no? So, ganito, pagbalik ko, susunod na week, actually mag-meet naman tayo. Ano lang naman ako wala. So, ngayong Wednesday and then the Saturday. So, yung susunod na Wednesday, sige, so mag-review na rin kayo ha. So, we're going to have a quiz. Okay, sa on-site na quiz. So, susunod na Wednesday, not this Wednesday ha. Next Wednesday, pagbalik ko. So, yon, mag-review na kayo hanggang doon sa first part ng stack. So from the beginning up to the first part of the stack. So multiple choice and then application. Yun yung magiging content ng ating quiz. Okay? So wala pa kasi tayong quiz natin. Okay? Alright, so if you're already ready, so guys, look at the camera. So smile everyone. 1, 2, 3. So this would be your attendance. Okay, so ayan. Alright, so ayan, may pumapasok pa. Okay. So isa pa. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Alright, so guys, ayan. Okay, so be good habang wala ako ha, mag-review kayo and then also do your activities. Okay, so wala pa tayong ginagawang laboratory activities pala. Pagbalik ko, so we're going to start our laboratory activities ha. So sa susunod na, not this Saturday, sa susunod na Saturday, okay? So we're going to have our first laboratory activity after your quiz. So Wednesday quiz and then Saturday is the laboratory activities. So on-site na naman yon. Okay? Alright, so see you next week guys. So have a blessed Sunday tomorrow. Enjoy guys. Okay, bye everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye po. Thank you po.
Bye-bye.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Thank you po.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you for attending the class. So I'm going to end the meeting.